Every big thing you hate about yourself, flip it. Your overthinking is intelligence, your sensitivity is emotional mastery. You've been told a million times that your quirks and the stuff that you struggle with are basically like your weakness, but maybe you're just too sensitive, or you overthink everything, or you prefer just hanging out with your own thoughts instead of the squad or real life people. Plot twist, what if the thing that you think is ruining your life is actually something that could make you legendary? Let's break it down. The overthinker. He is basically like Sherlock level genius. You overanalyze everything from did I send that text too fast, or what if parallel universes exist and another version of me is out there just eating pizza with aliens? You know, Overthinking is exhausting. But guess who else did it though? Leonardo da Vinci. The man who couldn't finish half his projects because he was too busy making the Mona Lisa smile scientifically perfect. Overthinkers, they don't just react, they strategize. They see what others miss. So congratulations, your flaw is literally what made Einstein, Tesla, and even Sherlock Holmes, I know he's fictional, but still, it's what made them icons. If you're being too sensitive, you're an emotional Jedi. Ever cried because you saw a dog wearing a cute raincoat? Me too. But sensitivity gets a bad reputation, but in reality, though, it's a superpower. Mythological time, imagine Krishna, who was the ultimate strategist, charmer, and basically like the CEO of the Mahabharata. He was like insanely empathetic. He read people like a book. Every great leader from Buddha to Oprah who got where they are, it's only because they understand emotions so deeply. So if somebody says you're too sensitive, just smile knowingly and whisper, and you're too blind to see that that is my secret weapon. Alone too much? Welcome to the Great Minds Club. You spend more time in your own head than in social gatherings. Society says go out, mingle, but Hercules didn't train for greatness at a party. He was in the mountains just wrestling lions. Buddha, though, he meditated alone under a tree and came back enlightened. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's a power move. If people don't get why you love being alone, just say, I'm in my main character arc, bro. Watch the glow up soon. The daydreamer, reality is overrated anyway. Teachers call you distracted, and parents are like, focus. But guess who else was zoning out like you? J.K. Rowling, Steve Jobs, and every philosopher ever. Dreamers don't just live in the world, they create new ones. Greek mythology, it's literally a bunch of daydreamers making up gods and monsters and epic battles. So next time somebody says get your head out of the clouds, just reply them with I am building empires up here. The clumsy one is a natural risk taker. You trip over air, you spill coffee like it's an Olympic sport, and somehow you always get your shirt caught over doorknobs or some screws. But hear me out. Clumsiness means you're constantly in motion, which means you're not afraid to mess up. Ever seen a toddler learning to walk? They fall like 100 times and they don't care. That's how champions are made. Look at Jackie Chan. He literally got famous for what? For turning accidents into legendary stunts. So trip with confidence, you're just built different. The over talker, he's basically like a walking encyclopedia. People say, you talk too much, shut up. Bro, Socrates wouldn't shut up either, and now he's like in every philosophical book ever. Talking a lot means you're a natural storyteller, a leader, and a human search engine. If you just use it right, you could be the next stand up comedian, TEDx speaker, maybe. Just the next time somebody says stop talking, just smirk and whisper, Shakespeare wrote entire plays, and I'm just warming up. The late bloomer is the ultimate underdog story. Everybody around you is getting jobs, relationships, six packs, and you're just out here, trying to how to wake up early. Oprah got fired in 20s. Morgan Freeman became famous at 50, and Colonel Sanders started KFC in 60s. Some people are just peak in high school. You're just playing the long game. The best success stories don't start with I had it all figured out when I was 20 years old. They start with everybody doubted me and I just proved them all wrong. So just take your time, your glow up is loading. If you're the too nice one, maybe you're just the future mafia boss. Kidding, kind of. People walk all over you because you're just too nice. Being kind isn't a weakness, it's a secret weapon. Ever heard of Chanakya? He was the ultimate strategist. He played the long game by being polite, reading people, and then bam, he just outsmarted kingdoms. Kindness gives you access. People underestimate you. And when you finally decide to switch up, everybody shook. So stay nice, but just know when to flip the script though. Who catches every detail? Human lie detector. You notice everything. The tone shift in that text, that one crumb on the table, the fact that your friend said, I'm fine, but blinked way too many times. People say you're too paranoid or too picky, but let's be real. Sherlock Holmes would basically kill you for your observation skills. This isn't a flaw, bro. It's a pattern recognition. You read people, situations, and energy before anybody else does. In the ancient world, you'd be the oracle. In today's world, you are the CEO who never gets scammed. The one who feels too deeply. You feel emotions like they're just like everywhere, happy, you're ecstatic, sad, you're basically drowning in the sea crying. People say, stop being so dramatic, but here's the truth: the world runs on emotions. Artists, musicians, poets, revolutionaries, they all felt too much. Rumi was emotional, Van Gogh was emotional, Taylor Swift, ultra emotional, and she turned it into her empire. Your emotions are not a curse, they're creative fuel. Learn to channel them, and boom, you're the next great storyteller or artist or the person that everybody comes to when life hits hard. The one who hates rules. You hear that's just how it is, and you immediately go, no. Authority, it's annoying. Stupid rules, they are meant to be broken. Society calls you rebellious, but history calls you a leader. Steve Jobs got kicked out of his own company. Elon Musk got told that rockets were not for private companies. Gandhi literally just said, I'm gonna make my own salt by. Every system changer had to just first be the person who questioned the system. He questioned everything. So if you hate following dumb rules, congrats. You're built for innovation, not imitation. The one who zones out, multiverse traveler. Your brain randomly logs out like the Windows XP shutdown sound in the middle of conversations. 1 second you're present. The next you're just imagining a life as a warrior with a pet dragon. People call it spacing out, but let's call it what it really is, like mental teleportation. Do you think Isaac Newton just discovered gravity because he was paying attention? No, my guy was literally staring at a falling apple, completely lost in thought. Your zoning out isn't a defect, it's where genius ideas are born. Just maybe write them down before you forget, though. The one who procrastinates, master of last minute genius. You had a month to do something, but now it's due in 3 hours, and suddenly you're a machine. Heart racing, ideas flowing, typing at the speed of light. People say stop being so lazy, but you know the newsflash? Most creative geniuses were last minute legends. Douglas Adams wrote Hitchhiker's Guide hours before his deadline. Some of the best speeches, they were improvised. Procrastination forces peak level efficiency and high pressure creativity. So yeah, maybe you should start earlier, but if not, just trust the process. Maybe you're creating a masterpiece, who knows? The one who can't fit in is a natural leader, trust me. You've always felt a little off, like no matter where you go, you don't fully belong. People click into groups easily, and you're just out there vibing in your own street. Sounds familiar? That's because you're not meant to fit in, you're meant to stand out. Every great leader from Tesla to Elon Musk, they just had the same problem. They were not made for the system, they were made to create new ones. So, like, basically, stop trying to be like everybody else. Lean into your weirdness because one day it'll be something that people will admire the most. The chronic people pleaser, the ultimate connector. You've always wanted to make everybody happy, right? You say yes when you really want to say no, and you bend over backward to keep the peace. People say you're too nice or basically a doormat, but guess what? You're a social ninja. People pleasers are masters of empathy. They know exactly how to read a room, adjust their energy, and make everybody feel heard and cared for. You've got the power to build unbreakable bonds, and that's something that the world needs more of. The perfectionist, quality control genius. Everything just has to be right. The right angle, the right color, the right timing. Your friends joke that you're obsessed with details or picky, but guess who's creating masterpieces? You are. Perfectionists are detail oriented visionaries who understand that greatness is in the little things. Your need for perfection pushes you to raise the bar for everything around you. One day somebody is going to look at your work and say, that's gold. That's the standard. The overscheduler, efficiency king and queen. You've got a planner for your planner. You map out every hour of the day and get mad if something gets off track. People tell you to chill and not be so rigid, but here's the truth: you are a productivity powerhouse. You know how to maximize every moment, stay focused, and get things done while others are just figuring out what to wear. You're basically a human efficiency app, and that's how the best CEOs, artists, and leaders operate. The constantly in a rush person. Also, a fast decision maker. You're always a step ahead, running on high speed, and people are like, why are you always in such a rush? Have you got a train to catch? The thing is, being on the go means that you make decisions quickly and confidently, and that's a huge superpower. You're not getting bogged down in indecision. You trust your gut, you move fast, and you create opportunities for yourself when others are still overthinking. You're basically living life in fast forward while others are basically stuck on pause. The can't say no person is a natural leader. You've always been the one that people turn for help, and sometimes it feels like you're drowning in other people's demands. People say you're a pushover, but here's the thing: you're a born leader. You're the go to for others because you can be counted on, they trust you. Being the yes person means that you have an amazing leadership potential. You understand what people need, and you're always paving the way for when it's your turn to step up and call the shots. The introvert, deep thinker, and innovator. You prefer solo time to crowds, and people think you're just being antisocial. But let's be real: introverts are the quiet innovators of the world. You're not missing out, you're recharging, thinking, and coming up with ideas that others can't even dream about. The world needs more of that deep reflection. And that's why introverts often become the greatest creators, leaders. What is their lesson? Every big thing you hate about yourself, flip it. Your overthinking is intelligence. Your sensitivity is emotional mastery. Your alone time is personal evolution. The biggest legends didn't fix themselves. They just owned their weirdness and made history. Now, the next time somebody calls you a weakness, just smile and say, it's not a flaw. It's my origin story. Watch me rise. I'll see you in the next one.